Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. So today's session is on high-level anger, a very, very difficult state, and once it gets to this point, I've never seen anyone turn around from high-level anger. Except, as I mentioned in the last video, a man who had one outburst but was able to contain it because of his effort and restraint and work on himself and support a family, and only one instance at that. But the problem being with anger, that once a person flares into it, it's just so easy to keep repeating and really, well, practically impossible to contain, that I've noted. I did have one patient, she was actually, when I was doing some physiotherapy for her walking, and she had dementia, and I saw her for quite a number of physiotherapy treatments, and she definitely had an anger problem. Lovely lady though, charming, lovely, fabulous personality, but boy, she could get angry. And initially it was just verbal. You know, she might throw things, but she wouldn't actually attack people. But everything was sort of kept under control because her son was very good to her and could even de-escalate her over the phone by saying, "Look, Mum, you know, you've got to control yourself and settle down. You know, you've got to rein in." And she actually, yes, I'll try, dear. And she actually would. She would de-escalate because he had a very calm, reassuring, authoritative tone that she was so familiar with, because he was her favourite son, and he'd obviously, you know, dealt with her like this over many, many years. So she would de-escalate with her son's voice and with him visiting and his support. So she did get angry. I don't think she attacked anyone at this point, but certainly aggressive with throwing things around the place. But unfortunately what happened was that the son went overseas and to some sort of distant place, and was pretty much unavailable after that point. Tragic. And he didn't phone much, or hardly at all that I know of. And so she didn't have that lifeline anymore. And of course he couldn't visit because he was overseas, and the rest of the family wasn't supportive. And she just lost, she lost all her support network, and she became so aggressive. I still went to see her for some time for physiotherapy. The family still employed me. But she became very aggressive to staff with, you know, these wrist burns and bruises and scratches and these arms of the carers. It was really bad, you know. It was so upsetting for everyone and painful for them, you know, these injuries. Anyway, I said to her, you know, that she was attacking people, her carers. And initially she denied it and said, I'm not. And I said, look, you are. And I brought in one of the carers, actually, her main carer, who was very good to her. And I got the carer to show her arm, all bruised and scratched. And I said, you know, you have done this. And she was mortified, you know. She was very apologetic at that point. And I said to her, look, your aggression's increasing, and you're attacking staff and you're attacking residents. And she was, you know, just imagine how you'd feel being told that information. And I said to her, now, do you want me to tell you about this? And she said, yes, I have to know. So I did tell her, but because she didn't have the supports in place anymore, she just didn't have that means of being able to, you know, work on herself and make that effort and that strength to do so. So very soon she was admitted to a higher level facility where there's more restraints. Very sad, and a very, you know, no quality of life really. Similarly, the 2 men who, I've seen men probably, you know, on a number of occasions really, who become aggressive, often because, you know, and well, I mean, there's many reasons for aggression. I can't go into all of those, but for those men that are aggressive, whose families become fearful of them, I have seen that. You can see the man, he's big, he's tall, he's strong. You can think, oh, the damage he must have done at home. If he, you can just visualize it. So you can see the fear, actually, in the relative's eyes and face. I've seen this with one man in particular. The relatives were very fearful, so he must have been aggressive at home, I think. But the thing is, in a dementia facility, I've noticed that residents, say males, that get aggressive, they attack staff, the carers especially, when they have their cares done, and they attack residents because they're with them 24/7. They attack them for whatever reason. But I've never seen a resident attack a relative. So it's much more protected in a dementia facility for a relative than it would have been with them being at home. So, there's generally someone about, and they can call for the charge nurse if they need to. So I'm saying all these things because please don't leave your aggressive father in the unit thinking it will be okay and that the staff will look after him and it's all over now. It is not. You can help a lot, and really it is, it's a social responsibility to try and help as best as you can. Like, for the protection of the rest of the community, if nothing else. If you are frightened, and that may well be valid, say as a woman, say you're the wife, bring in a son, a brother, a friend, another male who's strong, and capable. So if something does happen, he's there to be able to help out, but not to just abandon ship and think, oh, it's over, I don't want anything more to do with it, or just coming in for the, token 10-minute visits. It doesn't do anything. Try at least, to sit down. I mean, we're at high level now, aren't we? But at least the person has to know, what they've done and the aggression. They need to at least, have it placed on their conscience, if you like. Actually, because, we all repercussions of our actions, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, Newton's law, so these people do need to know. Actually, my next door neighbour, lovely guy, his brother is in a dementia unit and he visits him regularly. And he was just saying to me the other day how his brother became aggressive. It must have been on a number of occasions. And I'm not sure of the details, but whether to staff or residents, probably both. And he's been sent on to a higher level dementia facility because of his aggression. But my neighbour said to me, I talked to him about it, and he said he knows what he did, he knows. So in other words, this man, his brother, was actually, his speech is practically all gone, but he did recognise and know that he'd been aggressive and he was going on to another facility because of that, and his brother explained that to him. That's good, he got it. He realised, okay, he's going to be somewhere else where there's even more restraints because, we have jails in our society for aggressive people. We have courts and we have solitary confinement and all these things because the repercussions of aggressive actions. We call them criminals outside, but inside, of course, in a dementia unit, there's no security of any kind. And so this is how we as a community can help keep other residents safe, through these means that I'm explaining. So, because otherwise, if someone's aggressive continually, it's either the medication, and you will be having doctors' meetings on this and discussing it with the doctor, or ongoing to another facility. So become educated in all of this, the medication and everything that's going on. Know what's going on, read the clinical notes, be upskilled, ask informed questions, get informed answers, all of that. So thank you for your likes and your subscriptions. I'm going to do a very important overview video in the next video, an overview of depression, anxiety and anger, and how to sort of, get to grips with the whole thing in an easier way. So please look at that. Thank you for everything, support, subscriptions. Please subscribe. I do appreciate that to get this up and running. Thanks.